Hey, good morning. I know, a long time no see. Been really busy, and it's like no excuse not to put up content and film a video. But I have been going through the ringer and stuff like that, and the enemy is at work, to say the least. So, and it's no excuse, really. And I'm letting my shortcomings, my setbacks, failures, and everything kind of hold me back and everything. But it's no excuse to really do that. So they even put like a little video up like this and everything. Try to do a little bit shorter and stuff. But things have been moving and behind the scenes and trying to get stuff done and whatnot. But like, there's one thing I wanted to bring up, which is not being afraid and not being afraid of being upfront, being honest, like being true, like, being truthful. I know a lot of times, like, a lot of people say, well, honesty is the best policy, or like, don't, if you don't tell them anything, then you don't have to tell them the truth. You can lie and all that stuff, like whatever notion or anything like that that may be around, like, just being upfront. That just hurts you, and it hurts your reputation, hurts your brand. And everything. And like, the biggest thing you can do is just give all the value up front, give everything up front. Like, don't be afraid. As long as you do what you need to do and say your piece, like say the part you need to part, like, or that you need to do, and get the stuff you need to get done, it's on the other person on how they respond, and it's more on them than it is on you, because like, you've given the information and they have to make a decision, right? And so, for example, like this past like week or two, I've been talking to some people and stuff, like, back and forth and everything, and things been ramping up really well, and for this one person, and it's like everything I'm looking, like, I want to do and whatnot. I'm trying to make sure the sun doesn't get into the camera a whole lot. All these like goals and everything's lined up. It's like bum 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 bum. But at the same time, I had someone contact me back. And then it was just like a gut punch. I was like, crap. So, I mean, I was upfront about everything, transparent and stuff, and on with both people and everything. And it was just how they react is on them, and it has how my actions, dictate are on me. But like, owning them and like just taking that ownership of all the actions, all the words said and stuff like that, and just being done with it. Because most people don't want to do that. What they want to do is they want to prolong pain and then not, like, and then take that massive withdrawal, and they're like, oh my god, like, my world's coming down, like, I'm burnt out, I'm at the rock bottom. It's like, well, you had all these little chances here and there along the way to get off or stop and rest or doing what you need to do, but you chose not to. So something I've been learning over this past week is like learning how to own your own expectations, learning how to take extreme ownership, but also really just speak from truth, right? Don't be afraid of saying what's real, what's right, and everything. Let others decide from there, because at the end of the day is when it's all said and done, like, when basically you're sitting there ready to go into heaven, and next thing you know, like, Jesus is there and be like, and did you explain what you did and everything like that. It's like, well, I did all this stuff. It's like, but did you do right? It's like, yeah, okay, good. Like, all right, are you on my team? Yeah. I was like, okay, you're in and stuff. Because the reality is, and that was like a rough example, that was really, really bad example, but it's not about how much good you do in the world, is if you're doing it from the right heart posture, right place. And because you could be a good person and be horrible at a lot of things and whatnot. And sometimes I'm pretty bad at a lot of things, but I try to be a good person every step of the way. So at the end of the day, as long as you know what you're like, I don't want to say know your truth, I don't believe in that crap. Just speak truth, right? Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. Step up. Like, I follow Jesus. I'm not ashamed of that, and I will bring it up in terms of like to relate it a little bit. But in business, it's the same way. In entrepreneurship, it's the same way. In work, it's the same way. Like, hey, something happened. Everyone's pissed off. Who did it? Nobody wants to answer. No one wants to get up and take ownership over anything like that. And like it just prolongs, like, you know, a bunch of BS and everything like that. So, question I would ask for the day is, where is it do you feel that you're lacking on actually being more intentional with being upfront with everything, like just speaking from truth, like speak truth and whatnot. What are things you need to take ownership of, and where do you feel like it's holding you back by not doing so? There's like a bunch of things throughout you, but like just something to ponder on, like to think about and everything. And if you have any thoughts or answers on that, like what's one thing that you can do, you know, drop that down below in the comment section and stuff. But more importantly, I would encourage as well, look over the past week, like, has there been anything, like, maybe I should have been a little bit more upfront about that, maybe I should have been a little more truthful about that, because the result that I'm getting right now is not ideal, and it could have been better, because at the end of the day, you know you did well. It's on the other person and how they receive it and how they respond. And I'm not saying this to be like pump it up, like, oh, ego, like blah 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 blah, I'm better, blah. No, it's more along the lines of, I know, switching hands. It's more along the lines of, your character is going to matter more than what was said, because your words will have to match your actions, and if they don't, then your character is going to show even more. So, and like, honesty is the best policy. It's like, yes, that's true, but you have to be intentional with it in terms of like, I'm gonna say this because it's like I need to, and like I want you to understand where I'm coming from. And then other times it's like, I need to say this because like this is very important, you need to hear it, right? There's different ways of going about it and being helpful. So, but I'll leave it there. I want to make these a little bit shorter. I don't want to make them too long and stuff, but I'm working on some other things. I'm trying to make a little bit better content and everything. But I hope you guys are doing well. Take it easy.